shout out to the Pacers, though. I'm excited. I hate the Knicks. I always have.
Hey, man.
I have no problem with them losing. I have no problem with Busta Rhymes trying to make excuses about it's a blessing and we're going to learn.
What?
I don't care about none of that. I don't care about the runway that they built for famous people coming into the Garden for them to get their ass kicked. I don't care about none of that. We got them up out of there in 6.
We got the coach fired.
Yeah, and he Tibbs got popped off. I don't know if that was fair though, but he did get popped off.
Yeah, he's
got
out
popped
of there.
off.
They talking about trading
Giannis.
Cat.
Well, Giannis trying to get up out of there now, I think. Pacers are the common denominator for a lot of movement that is about to happen in the NBA.
Think about the Paul George situation though, and how he's damn near responsible.
No, he is responsible
for this finals. Think about SGA.
Effect.
It's the butterfly effect for sure. Think about SGA. Think about how everybody was acquired through draft picks. His name is all over this finals, bro.
Yeah.
And then he says, I'd love to come back to Indiana. I'm like, nah, we cool.
Was that a legit response from him, though? Because I never seen anything with him saying
I'm not going to say I saw it, but I would believe it. I would think he would say something like that.
Okay.
To me. This is my personal opinion. And we cool. Like, I'm cool on that. Everywhere you win has been...
He can come on the veterans minimum and just come off the bench.
He's not going to do that.
Okay, then don't
he's
come.
Podcast P. He thinks he's Podcast P.
Well, exactly. He can spend time on his podcast.
Well, we got a new playoff P. He goes by Pascal Siakam.
Talk to him.
Yep.
He do what he's supposed to do in the playoffs for real. So.
Eastern Conference MVP, is that what you call it? Larry Bird Trophy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Should be named Brian,
By
but he's
one
still
vote.
playing.
And a lot of people were kind of disgruntled or maybe uneven about him winning it over Halliburton, but I kind of think it was rightfully so.
The toss-up.
Yeah, but it was based on Halliburton is the star on the team. Let's not get it twisted.
P was more consistent though.
He was more consistent.
He's more consistent.
And I kind of likened it to like when Golden State won the championship and Iguodala got
the MVP.
Let's be clear though. Let's just be clear though. That series, Steph Curry was their best player. They gave that finals MVP to Andre Iguodala because he was guarding LeBron, and they thought that change shifted the series.
Right.
Him averaged like 14 points. There's no way he's the best player. Steph Curry averaged 25, 6, and 7 that series.
Yeah, but you know,
the fact that he was associated with LeBron and they thought that change made everything shift, that's why he got finals MVP. There's no way he should have got it over Steph Curry, if we're being honest.
You know, if we want to be controversial, you know who should have won the MVP in that first Cavs-Warrior series? LeBron.
Yeah, if we're going to be honest.
But you know, you can't. There have been times when a losing player, you know, has been considered, but that's just not what we do
Jerry
anymore.
West is the only one that won a finals MVP in a loss.
Yeah, so but we just don't do that this sort of thing anymore. Yeah. But, you know, when you look at the statistics, like he led, you know, every statistical category during that finals. And plus he played without, you know, it still got to 6 games without Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. So. Matthew Dellavedova, shout out to him. That was like his second best player.
I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that Halliburton is going to get MVP of the finals, which means that the Pacers are going to win the finals.
So you going Pacers in 6?
I don't know if it's going to be 6 or 7. I think this is going to be a competitive series, but I think the Pacers are still going to come out on top, and this is where Halliburton will get his award on top of the NBA championship trophy.
2 things. One, my heart wants the Pacers to win.
Of course,
my gut and watching basketball just tells me OKC in 6. I'm just being honest in terms of just how they line up, how it matches up, because the margin for error is smaller. So if Halliburton or P have a off game, they'll get beat by 30. You can't play with OKC like that. This ain't New York. This is not none of them. So
I mean,
is it going to be competitive? I do believe that if everybody does what they're supposed to do, it's going to be very competitive. But my gut tells me, Shea, it's just a little too much, bro.
Is Shea that much better than Mitchell dropping 40 over and over again?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
You forgot already. Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, you talking about with the cap?
Yeah.
Is he more than Brunson?
Yes. I think his impact.
Does he have more defensive impact?
Well, they're a defensive team overall.
They're an elite defensive team.
Yeah, but
you talking about just Shea?
The Knicks are good at defense too, though.
Yeah.
So,
Not like OKC.
We
though.
already took out a number 1 seed,
but not like OKC though. They are an elite.
Didn't they win roughly?
Team.
I mean, only like one more game than the Cavs.
Yeah,
Something
but
like
it's
that.
different.
Cavs
though.
had the best record in the league.
Did they? I thought it was either 64.
They're really good
64,
defensively. They're young, deep. They run.
No, sort of
they
like
can
the
cover.
Pacers.
They can switch. Yeah, Pacers are young. They can run. They're deep, but these guys can defend, man. They can, and you can switch multiple bodies on Hallie. Like, it's going to be a very interesting series.
For sure. I think it comes down to, and we mentioned this in the pregame, but I think it comes down to a couple things.
Yeah,
I could see either team winning.
I could.
If Halliburton is strong in every game, and Pascal is strong in every game, no 8 and 6 games from Hallie. He's assertive. He attacks the paint.
Yeah.
I think the Pacers definitely have a chance at winning this.
See, we on the same type of time. He can't have one of those games.
No, he can't. He can't have that. We can't have an 8 and 6 and 3.
It's not gonna work.
Or only show up in the fourth quarter. Halliburton.
Yeah.
We need him to be consistent and active like he was in the games where he showed up.
I agree.
And if he does that, I think the Pacers will win.
I agree.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, and the defense of Oklahoma is able to slow the pace down a lot, and it turns into a half court game, it's going to be tough for the Pacers. But I think the keys are Halliburton. I think the matchups are. I think Carlisle's going to have the matchups set. He's going to do that. I think Carlisle's the better coach out of the two.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So I think matchup wise, they're going to figure that out. But I think it's. I don't want to say it comes down to superstars, but I think it comes down to who is going to show up.
Yeah.
If Halliburton, nobody's going to distribute like Halliburton.
Right.
Pascal is like the garbage player. He scores a quiet 30.
They don't run any plays for him, and he got 30.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
So if they both play solid, I think, and they don't have any bad shooting games, I think it could be rough for
what's
Oklahoma.
the big boy's name, man? That they pulled off not for OKC, for the Pacers, but they pulled off the bench.
Yeah,
light-skinned kid.
Guy that got hurt.
He's hurt. He's gonna miss the first 2 games.
Yeah.
From a size standpoint,
Well,
he was
Jurace or Jurace?
I can't remember what was his kid's name, man.
Walker.
Remember.
Well, yeah, he's going to miss at least 2 games.
Yeah, 2 games. Yeah,
So,
is it Walker?
Yeah, Walker.
He's gonna because he was pretty much buried on the bench, but they put him in there just because Miles got in foul trouble.
No.
They put him in
Am I
there.
missing?
They put him in there pretty much
talking about the
to
wrong
help
person.
defend.
Carl-Anthony Towns?
No, not Carl Anthony
Robinson.
Towns.
Oh, Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah,
Mitchell Robinson.
You guys are talking about
the kid I'm talking
Tony Bradley. You're talking about Tony Bradley or
But
whatever.
he's not the one that's hurt.
He's hurt, but Walker is the one that came down on his ankle in game.
That's what it
game.
is. I got you.
And he's
okay.
a bigger body as well. Young kid. He's
He's
good.
gonna
though.
he's gonna miss those first 2 games.
At least the first 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's gonna be tough, but I think Halliburton. To Terry's point, if Halliburton is the MVP,
Yeah.
I think the Pacers win.
And, hey, now I will say this: if they win, the Pacers win, and he's the MVP, Halliburton is through the moon.
Yeah.
He's going to be. You start talking about those guys in the league, you start shifting the faces around. He's going to be up there.
Yeah.
This would do wonders for him if they won.
I just don't see it in the same sense of like the Pacers have already in this first round taken out Giannis. They've taken out Donovan Mitchell, who was hooping.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like he was playing harder than Shea's ever going to play.
40 packs.
And
Jalen Brunson.
And then Jalen Brunson and Towns together.
Yeah.
And they didn't go 7 games in any of them.
No.
True.
Don't get me wrong. I do believe, Pacers are not a superstar-centric team in that particular manner, and I don't think OKC is either. But I think I don't put that much on Shea like everybody else does, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, he also has that Brunson mentality where he draws the foul.
For sure.
So, and then he won MVP of the league this year as well. So he's probably going to get a lot of looks off of that.
I'll put it to you this way, Long, based off what you just described in terms of who they have faced leading up to them. Shea's the best player they're going to face.
Yeah,
he's better than everybody else that you know.
He's not better than Giannis.
Well,
but at the same time, I think matchup wise,
that's what I'm talking about.
I see what you're saying.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah, for sure.
Like he's the one that might cause the most problem.
Yeah.
Based off how it's set up. So Halliburton, you can't put him on Shea back. They can't. Something's got to give. Now you can put Nembhard as a goon. He can chase him or whatever. But if you put Hallie on SGA all night, he's gonna get cooked.
I think they have. I think it's gonna be just like the Brunson matchup. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have enough to put. They got bodies. They got 3 bodies. They can put Mathurin, they can put Nesmith, and they can put Nembhard.
Good point.
And they can rotate that. The problem is gonna come in with Jalen Williams, Chet stretching everything out. You know, Dort's a really good defender. Caruso's a very good defender.
Very good.
You know, they have depth as well. So, but
they can put bodies on Hallie.
Yeah.
This is one team that can put legit bodies on Hallie.
So again, it comes down to if he gets locked out of his game, if he's not intentional, I think it's going to be really tough for him. So
I think people are about to be awakened for real if they haven't already been a believer in the Pacers.
Yeah.
I think this series is about to do it because I don't agree with you. I don't think that OKC is going to win this series. I really don't. I think this is about to be a prime example of why the Pacers are for real legit the best team as far as chemistry, team play, getting everybody involved. The bench is deep.
Yeah.
Everybody plays a role on this team. I think this is about to show the NBA and the fans how real the Pacers are.
I think OKC is of the same ilk, though.
They are, but they're not. And the reason why I say that is they have a superstar. Shah is a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He's a for real superstar.
Sean?
And they've been there before.
Yeah,
you know what the hell I said.
I was going to say
messing up the whole segment if it was going to be one.
He's a superstar.
Okay. Anyway, you love taking people off their shit.
He's a superstar.
Just say
I'm a
some
superstar.
Random shit. Anyway, OKC has been here before. They've always had stars on their team.
Facts.
The Pacers are never regarded at or looked at
as a star-laden team. We are showing people basketball fundamentals, essentially. This is like not to say that we play like Tim Duncan, but as far as fundamentals, this is NBA fundamentals 101 right here.
It's Spurs-esque. Yeah. How the Spurs played. Like the Spurs were not flashy.
Yeah.
It was team ball. Concept. It was team
They're
concept.
boring, right?
But they won.
I don't think the Pacers are boring, though.
They're not boring.
I don't think the Spurs are boring either, though.
But the Pacers definitely are not boring. They're not boring. Facts. They're not boring.
Yeah.
And
I'm with you on that, Terry. They're not
I
boring.
think people are about to
we'll see.
About to really see what's going on.
I don't think. Yeah, I think. OKC is good. I think OKC is probably the better team, though.
I sure hope I'm wrong, bro. I swear I do.
For sure.
And you know who I do not want to hear from as far as this is concerned? All you nerds talking about oh man, I can't believe they let this happen. 2 small market teams. Either you like basketball or you don't.
Come on, man.
All right. I watched the NBA Finals. It doesn't matter who's in it. I'm not like, well, there's no big market teams in there. I might as well find something else to do. First, and also, unless you're a huge baseball fan or WNBA fan, whatever, like there's nothing else on TV right now. There's not training camp. It's not, there's no preseason football. Like, this is the preeminent thing that's happening in sports right now. If you're not going to watch because it's 2 small market teams, like,
nobody cares.
I don't really care about the people who aren't here. Who are you can't, I'm sorry, we can't base everything about, the Lakers and LeBron or whatever. It's like, be quiet, nerds. Go outside, nerd.
We want to keep
nobody
it
cares about you talking about numbers.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when people try to justify shitty rap because of how much it sells. Like, we're not interested. We're having different conversations here.
I think everybody sitting at this table knew the Lakers weren't going to the finals this year.
I was delusional up front.
I thought they potentially had a shot.
I had to come
until
on.
I watched them, and I was like, they just don't have enough.
Yeah. Minnesota was never that good. The Lakers were that bad.
Yeah.
I'm a realist.
They just didn't have enough, though. But it's a kind of the story of this playoffs, though. I don't know. Coaching.
The cream has rose to the top.
Man, listen, I hope I'm wrong. I promise you I want to be at the Pacers parade. And we take our setup down to the Pacers parade. Like, I swear I want
like
that,
Pat
man.
McAfee, and we over there by the taco truck.
Yeah, over there with taco truck on fold-out chairs, like straight up, holding all the equipment. I don't care. Straight up. Like, I want that to happen. I want them to win. Please believe it.
The chat saying, Spoken Thought said, defense wins champions.
We're going to find out.
Championships. I think that's what he meant. And that is true.
Yeah, but Donovan Mitchell and all those 64-win teams ran into the Pacers' defense.
Yep, and they took care of them. So that's why we're going to find out. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be, from a purist, as a basketball fan, you should enjoy this finals. I'm talking about if you're a basketball fan, this is the one that you should.
Yeah.
You should champion this one.
Yeah, for sure.
You hate super teams. You hate the start.
Yeah.
This is set up perfectly for you to be that person.
This has been literally my personal issue with the NBA since the Big Three era started.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, wow. 2 teams actually built from the ground up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wouldn't even, to be honest, like, obviously we're in Indiana. I want the Pacers to win, but I wouldn't be like as upset if Oklahoma won as if like the Knicks won.
I'm going to agree with you there because I don't have a reason to not like OKC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find one. I hate the Knicks. You know where that's at.
Yeah.
But if OKC won, I'm not mad at that, but I would prefer the Pacers to win.
Yeah. Like
if I want to keep it 100 with y'all, I stopped liking Kobe when they beat us in the championship. And it's not that I didn't like him as a player. I think he was obviously one of the greatest player ever played the game, and I watched his games. But that's the type of fan I am. Even when we were going up against Jordan, I love Jordan. I couldn't stand Jordan, though, because they were always beating the Pacers. So I think I'm not going to like OKC if that happens. So I don't care.
Only reason
Pacers all day.
I can find a reason to root for OKC is because I'd love to see them win without Kevin Durant.
There's a big chance that they can happen.
The thing is,
it's not going to happen, man. Let's stop putting that in that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but that'd be the only reason I could be like, all right. Because I put this on social media, and, of course I'm just doing what I do on social media. But I'm like, Kevin Durant's probably somewhere sitting around thinking about how he can play on Thursday for the OKC. Seeing if an agent can find a way. Can I make the playoff roster?
Might mess around, be on their team next year. KD will move around on you, so we'll see.
Yeah,
but
that means don't. It should be no thank you.
No, for sure.
Just like it's no thank you for Paul George. I have Tyler Hansborough or Danny Granger back before I had Paul George.
But you know what? I thought about what you just said. I'm gonna disagree. Paul George. Okay. KD should be one of them ones that will get we're gonna bring you back home pass.
Nah.
I think he should get that.
No.
I think he should get that.
No.
He did a lot for them, bro. He did a lot for them. Now, Paul George, that's
not
cool.
Enough.
Carmelo, that's cool. But KD, he should be able to come back if he wants to.
I think they would let him come back, honest.
Why would you go back?
But does it help them?
No.
That's the question. Because right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why I need a 36-year-old dude? For what? We got these young boys running around.
That's like the Knicks thing. I was like, if the Knicks were smart, they would just run it back again.
You'd think, but
like just run it back. Like you guys got close.
Yeah.
Fix a couple elements.
Add a couple pieces and keep the core.
Yeah. And once again, the East is going to be wide open next year, depending on how people move in free agency, how the Pacers would be able to, after they win their championship, I'm putting it out there.
Talk to them.
How many of those, there's some pieces that they may not be able to keep. That's the way the NBA is set up right now. The whole idea of a repeat champion is really hard.
Pacers are actually going to go into their luxury tax and make sure they keep everybody.
As they should.
You think so? That's not
I would.
Okay. All right. That's dope.
I keep everybody the way it is.
That's been the thing. If the Simons are willing to spend that money, let's go.
I mean,
put that bread up. Keep the team together.
I would say, shouts to Thomas Bryant.
Oh, here you go.
Shouts to Mr. Bradley.
Here you go hating on people's lives, Lone.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
They got babies.
I know Bryant's been around, but if there was a spot on the roster that could potentially be improved a little bit, it might be backup center, but maybe not if Isaiah Jackson comes back, because then they have that because he's hurt this year.
That's fair.
But but then they get moved down in the roster. But having Bryant come off that bench every time he comes in, I'm just like, which one are we gonna get? Cool. What's that got to do with basketball?
I'm just saying, man. You wish they put him out the pasture.
He can go play for the Wizards or
wow. Don't wish that
upon him.
Hallie didn't even want to go there. He was so happy he didn't get drafted to the Wizards.
We like him more. We like him more than that. Don't put him in the Wizards.
I'm not even saying I don't like him. I'm just saying if we're looking strictly on because I do like him. I think he brings a lot of energy. But what I'm saying is from a standpoint of definite roster improvement. The backup center is one of those things that could potentially get exploited in this Oklahoma series.
Okay.
Miles comes out. They got Harkenstein and Chet.
Yeah.
Chet is tall as shit.